All right, just plugged in my Massimo E-Kooler, the CX50, which is the 50 liter. Just got this bad boy from Costco. Just had it cranked up to get down to about freezing. It took about 22 minutes to get from 20 degrees Celsius down to 0 degrees Celsius. So that was like 68 degrees Fahrenheit down to about 32. Really happy with that. 22 minutes is not bad. This thing only draws 45 watts. So you're looking at a third of an hour running at 45 watts. If you're living in the solar world, you pulled a third of an amp along those lines. Maybe, no, you pulled an amp. La-di-da, I think. Whatever, do my math for me. You know what I'm talking about. It is not much power, and if you have solar, you already recharged by the time I finish this sentence. It's an awesome cooler. It's nice and deep. I got one can in there right now, chilling, trying to get the mountains to turn blue. It's got to get in there. The cooler's gotten down to temperature, but the can's got to cool down. It's pretty big. There it is next to my chop saw. It's nice, but compared to like an ARB fridge, it's actually more tall and narrow, which I kind of like. If a wider cooler is definitely going to take up just more volume, even if you want to stack stuff on top of it, you're always going to have spatial issues. So anyway, very happy with this Massimo E-Kooler. Again, this is the 50 liter. They all operate the same. They come with a 12 volt. So for your car DC charging, and then a 120 volt for household power. There is no battery in this. There were some weird descriptions. There is no battery in this unit. You could power it off of a battery using the 12 volt or like a Goal Zero charge or whatever, but there is no battery. It has a battery indicator, so it knows when your battery is getting low, and it'll turn itself off just in case you're plugged into your vehicle. That way you can still start your car and you don't drain your battery while you're trying to keep your margaritas cool. The box, you're going to get the Massimo owner's manual for the CX50 or the 40 or the 30. They all appear to be the same as far as function, so really all you're going to get difference is the size. You get the AC adapter, so this is the 120 volt. This is what you plug into your house or into your inverter, typical household plug. And you also get the DC adapter, so this is your 12 volt. This is what you'd plug into your cigarette lighter or your camper, whatever is easy for you. Conveniently, both the power ports plug into the same part here, so whether you're running the household 120 or the DC 12 volt for your car or your deep cycle battery, it all plugs into the one side, which is nice. Turning the unit on, you have a nice digital display. One thing you'll notice with this model is that, ooh, I already got it running. If you can hear that running, it's running real quiet. This actually runs, shows you only in centigrade. So in the user manual, there was nothing that could help me figure out how to get it to Fahrenheit. I can see that there's a not illuminated F, but I couldn't get it to F. So if you guys can figure it out, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, it's working in centigrade. The nice thing when you're working in centigrade is 0 equals freezing. So if you found this video, I'm sure you can figure out how to Google how many degrees are what in centigrade to Fahrenheit for where you want to operate this. That said, I want to go through some of the functions real quick. Plus and minus, this is how you control the temperature in which you're trying to set the fridge to go to. Currently, I've just turned this on to 2 degrees, nice and chill. Currently, the internal temperature is at 20 degrees Celsius, so it's got a little ways to go. Some other things that we see here is it's pulling in the current amount of volts that's being utilized, which is 14.6 volts. I have it running in eco mode, and what eco mode does is basically just apparently uses less power, doesn't recycle it quite as much. You can switch it over to by pushing the button up top, the little gear selector, setting selector, moves it to max. What max does is apparently it just runs a little harder, so it gets cooler quicker. So I'm going to leave it in max for right now so we can get down to temperature. Some other things that we can do, we already went over that. If we hold the settings button up top, it starts blinking M. That's for, let's go back to that M. Cycle through this, push the button again to cycle. That's an H for high, L for low, M for medium. What that is this actually has a built-in battery monitor, not a built-in battery, a built-in battery monitor. So that what I've done there is said, hey, monitor it to make sure I have high battery, medium battery, or low battery on the vehicle I'm pulling from. So it's protecting you from overdrawing your battery. So if you are pulling on your vehicle's main starter battery, this will stop and turn off so that you have enough charge ideally to be able to start your car. So it's a battery protection built in. There is a USB port right here. So I guess if you want to put your phone here and charge there, you can. It does have this battery indicator here, and that is not for an internal battery. I believe that's the rating of its charge that it's picking up. So don't be fooled. There's some descriptions here that say this has a battery. It does not. It could be operated by a battery, like a Deep Cycle, a Yeti Zero, those kind of items, Goal Zero rather. So it does not have an internal battery. This has to be powered by 12 volt or by the 120 volts. Overall, I'm extremely happy with the initial quality of the E-Kooler from Massimo. It's built right, it looks good, it runs very quiet, and the few times I've cycled it through, it got cool really quick and doesn't kick on very often. I'm excited to get this out in the field and test it more running off of my solar, but for right now, I'm really excited and looking forward to using this product.